Welcome to Fear and Hunger. We're going to turn we left off of... what would it be? Not going through the library yet. We have a little bit of a stall, but probably one that you guys might enjoy. Now, in the last episode, I had asked for questions to ask the new gods. Now, what I didn't know was that there are so many questions you can ask. And that, of course, you don't add question marks at the end of the questions. So, thanks to user ManaNana, I was given a good compilation of what questions I can ask. And it goes from, let's say, enemies, and let's just say there's maybe like 20 different questions. Like every single enemy, they'll have something to say about it. For terms, things say like greater scheme, blood magic, new gods, old gods, love magic, me, life, love, fellowship, join you, green hue, places, people and gods, like Kahara, Tormented One, Nilvan. We can ask them all those questions. So what I'm going to do, I saved it right here with my Book of Enlightenment. I'm going to use this entire episode to asking questions that I feel at least are more of the important ones. Like say for enemies, I'll ask say about the butterfly guy. I'll ask about the guard. I don't know if I'd fucking want to ask them a question about, let's say fucking, wait, which one? Let's say, Ballista. Ballista's just the guard with the fucking crossbow. I don't give a shit. Lord of Flies? Yeah, I'm curious. White Angel? Uterus? I am curious. Am I curious about outside this place, Fear and Hunger? And Mahaber and the Dark Content in Vinland? Yeah. Aren't you? Yeah, fuck yeah. Lore in games like this and lore in Dark Souls, everyone eats that shit up. So, we're going to concentrate this video on lore of what the new gods can tell us. The stuff that we either can't read about, won't read about, or just books that don't detail this kind of information. We're going to hear it from the new gods themselves. So first, I'm going to go through the topics of enemies, the important ones, like say Crowmauler. Crowmauler is definitely, and Caved Mother, all that shit, and Salmon Snake. And we'll go through, it's on the list that I've been given from top to bottom. Enemies first, terms first, like say, what is blood magic, love magic, fellowship, life, love magic, and then places, then people and gods. Gods, the most important and most interesting are the people and gods. Like asking, say, about Nazramas, or the trickster god, or the ancient one, or probably also the one who died. What's his name? Probably if I can ask about Kahara, I should be able to. You can ask about the girl. You can ask about Nilvan, about Miro, the developer, apparently. Canberra. I don't see anything about Darce. I'd be curious if you can actually ask about Darce. I'll try, but it's not on the list, so I don't think you can. Or else I'd talk about Dark Priest. You can ask about the Dark Continent, Darkness, but not about the Dark Priest. Otherwise, each character you'd have to go to the new gods and say, me, and they would tell you about you, which is probably what you have to do. Anyways, so with that said and done, we're going to get into the lore and ask the important questions, one at a time. So there'll be a lot of asking 3 questions, reloading the game, as you'd expect. But we're going to do it because I'm sure a lot of you want to learn about the lore, just as I do. There's a lot of things I want to know information about. But that would mean 0 progress in terms of where I am now and the bosses at the end game content. So unfortunately for those that don't care about lore, you're going to have to wait a little bit. Alright, so first, Butterfly. Butterfly. The poor creature wants to get the gift of the god of the depths. He was once persuaded by the king of the insects. Needless to say that his pursuits are in vain. Poor Butterfly. I don't know, let's go... We could ask about Night Lurch, but Night Lurch is the thing, I do believe, with the pincer dick. I don't know if I really honestly give a shit about him, but hell, we might as well ask. Because if one of you are like, but I want to learn about Night Lurch, the pincer dick anime, and okay, fine. Night Lurch. Whoops. We learn about Night Lurch. I'm not sure if a capitalization matters in Night Lurch, but Night Lurch. We do not understand the it does matter. Shit, okay. Capitalization matters. He was once sentenced to the prisons. He used to lust to hurt women. Now he's an epitome of his perversions. See, like, we don't care about that. We know it's just Night Lurch. He's just a stupid little enemy. But that was one save. Then I have to go back to title, then go back here, and then go here. And bam! Redo it. But we're not gonna do shit about Night Lurch. Who gives a shit? I'm kinda curious about guards. Like, are they deformed people who once used to live? I don't care about Hound. Have I even run into a Hound? I only know Moonless. Well, I'll ask about the guard anyways. Guard, I want to know if there's any depth about the first enemy you meet in the game. Overwhelming physical strength and endless lust that is only weakened by their loneliness. It manifests in their final form. I can't remember what Manaba. Manaba is the jellyfish things, aren't they? Okay, we can ask about the Black Witch. The Black Witch, I'm curious. Actually, shit, I fucking capitalized. Fuck. Sorry. I ruined the question. Also, I'll reduce the amount of banter I have and just leave it to questions and going on. So, starting now, I'll have less banter and only read what their answers are in the question. The Black Witch is a male, okay. He is a human that was lost to blood magic. The darkness has had its way with him. He is but a slave to Grogroth. Interesting. Ghoul. Those whose physical and mental fortitude couldn't handle the ever-pressing darkness, they lost their mind. Hound. Francois, the dominating one, has trained the hunting hounds to harass all those who trespass his domain. Those mindless beasts only taste the blood of their victim in their mouths. That's all they know. Manaba. They came from the green hue. Even we don't know their true purpose. They manifest around sickness and dead carcasses. Iron Shakespeare. As things started to succumb to chaos in the dungeons of fear and hunger, he was sent from the kingdom of Rondon for aid. In short time, he too lost his mind. Now he tries to guard the area to his last breath from anyone who sets foot to the fortress. Priest. The priests came for the pilgrimage to the dungeons. They are worshippers of both new and older gods. Okay, that was very minimal information. Cave gnome. The little halflings given birth by the cave mother, even their mother think little of them, and uses them to do her dirty work. Poor little cave gnomes. Human Hydra. The remaining guards of the fortress, they try to save themselves with an act of love. You mean a gigantic fucking orgy? There's a lot of heads in there. You can't just say with the remaining guards' act of love. That is such a gigantic clusterfuck. Like, that's like 11 people in a gay orgy pit. It's like that one episode of fucking South Park. Cave Mother. Cave Mother, a being who has stayed in the darkness for too long. It longs for humankind to pregnate her. Ugh. No thanks. No thank you. Moonless. A lone cave wolf who was once driven away from her pack because of her superior strength. The black has its way of changing the nature of wolves. Huh. Lizard man. Long ago, before men took the dungeons as their own, there dwelled a different race in the black. That's it? That's it? You're not gonna go into just... Lizard men used to be here before humans. That's it. Man, you could have delved so much further into it, because, like, if you go in level 4 dungeons, like, where you first pull the lever for the elevator to go to the caves, there's statues there with the lizard people. So you'd think there's some good lore you could get from the lizard people. Maybe another character of... Maybe you can ask a different question that branches into that, but with statues that show the lizard people, which says, like, oh, yeah, lizards were here before. Here's, like, the relics of their past. And then these guys just say, yeah, they used to live here. Lost opportunity, in my opinion. Old Knight. A virtuous knight who was on a path to the black of the dungeons. He met the alchemist Nosramus on his way down, who saved his life. The old knight decided to serve Nosramus for his lifetime and beyond. Night Spectre. The true of the old knight. Really? What's the point of even having that? Mumbler. I don't even know if I've run into Mumbler yet. Mumbler. Creations of the Black. The darkness has had its way with countless of victims. They are fully erect, despite being left untouched for decades. What's erect now? Mumblers. Have I ran into them before? Something that's erect. I don't know. Salmon snake, an ancient being that swims in the underground waterways. There are many human legends which mention this beast as well. I wish there could have been more to salmon snake as well. Crow Mauler. He was set on purifying the dungeons from filth and deprivement. Little did he know that he would become a part of the Black himself. I'm growing more and more curious about what the Black is that they keep mentioning. Is that the plague that havocked Rondon, maybe? Not sure. Harvest Man. Definitely one I wanted to ask about. Unable to satisfy the needs of his victims, he resorts to more violent ways of pleasure. Oh, I see. Yellow Mage. Pupils of the Nazara the Destroyer, they use the strength of the Grogroth to their master's advantage. Now, this is going to be, I guess, there's going to be a few things I want to ask, but they're things that I haven't even seen myself, so it could be potential spoilers, but even though I don't know what they look like, and I may not even know and put name to a face. Like, there's one called Red Man. I don't know Red Man, and I'm going to skip asking them Skeleton, because it's a fucking skeleton, I don't care. An Assassin Spectre, whom I've not ran into, but, I mean, fuck it. I'll do Assassin Spectre. It better not just be as boring as Night Spectre, though. He traveled far from the east just to stop the spreading of the inevitable darkness. His iron will manifests in his blade even to this day. Yeah, semi-cool, I guess. So, Red Man. I don't even know who Red Man is. At least it's not Orange Man, because Orange Man bad, obviously. Red Man. Red Man good. He who suffered the torture of the Tormented One for hundreds of years. With every passing year, its pain grows stronger. So Red Man is bad. Red Man angry and Red Man bad. Lord of Flies. Valtail, the Enlightened One, in his attempts to understand the secrets of life, he accidentally created this being. Oh, come on, go further, come on. That's a shame. He created this thing. Tell me more. Apparently he looks like Gordon Ramsay from a lot of people have been commenting. Scarab. Men are wicked. Condensed wickedness can manifest in many ways. Scarabs are there to remind us of this. Nameless. Nameless. The fool has traveled wide and far, but has gotten no wiser. Huh. Looks like they're pretty upset when I bring that up. They're like, we hate him. Collectively. A White Angel. Another character I've not met yet, so hopefully this isn't too big of spoilers. A manifestation of your grudge during your stay in the dungeons. Huh. Strange. Uterus. Valtail, the Enlightened One, created many forms of life for many different purposes. Uterus serves a purpose too, and every night Valtail would summon one of them to his quarters. Curious about this. Moonless Guard. There's a Moonless Guard? Like, we're gonna meet it in the future, maybe? Moonless Guard. An act of love between a cave wolf and a guard. What? What? Can I have Moonless fuck one of the guards? And that would form a new ally? I don't want Moonless to take a guard stinger. That's just weird. Darkness. Only traces of the older gods remain in this plane of existence. Nazara has been able to bend a powerful being under his will. Don't even know what that means. But maybe in the future when I understand the game more, it will make sense. Or to those that are unfamiliar or more familiar but didn't know that. Body Snatcher. I don't think I've ran into that, and I don't know if I want to. We do not oh, shit. Did I spell it wrong? Fuck. I think that might be one of the new enemies. Because this list of questions are also of the most recent updates of the game. Unless Body Snatcher is in the capital. This might be an older version of the game where Body Snatcher is only in the newest version of the game. Old Guardian. Alright, looks like these are... There's Body Snatcher, Lady of Moon, Old Guardian, and King that I think are absolutely new enemies that aren't in the version I'm playing. Because I'm on like 1.03, and the newest version that's out now is 1.11, I do believe. King. Yep, King is another one that's brand new and has been recently added. Interesting. Alright, Greater Scheme. You only come to realize the greater scheme of things as you ascend to become a new god. Time is a cycle, as cliche as that sounds. Blood magic. The gift of the Grogroth to mankind, as his presence fade, so does his gift. New gods. Older gods left us without answers in the times of peril. For men to take matters to their own hands, we had to form. We are many, as you can see, but we have taken a seat in the Grand Hall for now to let the new ones reign for their time. So it's almost saying these are new gods, but there's a manner of speaking of which any mortal can ascend and become a god, and it's a tried and true method where any party of people can ascend, almost like it's Valhalla in a way, but only the greatest of mortals who have achieved something specific can become new gods, because these guys are new gods, but even then they say, we're sitting in this grand hall having a nice little feast and banter, while even newer gods are showing up and having their little fun of reigning around the world and shit. Interesting. Old gods. The original gods, they have forsaken mankind. We must take matters to our own hands. They have not been present in the memories of any of us. Only their traces remain. Love magic. The gift Sylvian left for mankind, love from her perspective. Love from her perspective. You know, fuck it and you'll fucking morph. You'll mighty morph into some kind of disgusting mutant of sorts. Me! What you are to become is up to you. True enough. True enough. Life. Men and women are born to suffer. No matter what your pursuits are, humans are never content. Somewhat true. Love. Love is something that is unique to every person. Love can take many shapes. You can form love on your own, or it can form on its own between multiple people. Fellowship. It is a term commonly used with a tale about the ascension of the current generation of new gods. Oh, come on, you're not going to branch into more of that? Come on, it's just, everyone is called a fellowship whenever they're going on their pilgrimage to godhood, basically, apparently. Join you. Join you. This is not the time and place for such. The throne of ascension is located elsewhere. Whether you are worthy of ascension or not remains to be seen. So instead of escaping the Fear and Hunger dungeons, we could become gods. And I'm sure the Dark Priest in his character wouldn't mind that, probably. He hungers for knowledge, but who knows. Green hue. The hue that emanates from the true Mahabur, the plane of the older gods. Green hue is just something that comes out of a true, rather than what's in the past, I guess. Rondon. The great western kingdom of Rondon, the center of western civilization. It was once formed out of hundreds of small warring nations and tribes to fight under one flag. Oldgard. The northern kingdom that has stayed independent for the most parts. known for their iron will and advanced ships that sail even to the most western continents. Jataya, the holy city of the the holy city of the eastern sanctuaries, originally the homeland of the older god Almur, a hotspot for all trading, be it from the east or west. Vinland, the continent of the old world order, a land unknown for the most part in the western world. Even us, the new gods, know little of this continent. The Dark Continent. The continent of the old world order, a land unknown for the most parts of the western world. So, it's the same as Vinland. Great. Mahabur, the city of the gods. Once we took over the city from the older gods, we decided to reside here. Still, some remnants of the older gods still linger in the city. Time and space do not follow the same rules here. Sun doesn't warm you, and death is not the same once you walk these streets. Interesting. Mahavir, or Mahavre. Apparently there's an extra sentence in here. The language always changes. Mahavre, or Mahavir, is what was known as Mahabur, or Mahabre, the city of the old gods, once we took over the city. An older language. Dungeons. The dungeons of Fear and Hunger are ancient, almost as old as this city. They have seen many different ages. They have always worked as a nexus between multiple different planes of existence. In current era, the Kingdom of Rundun built prison sections over the ancient tomes. They most likely tried to use the nightmarish rumors about the tomes to their advantage. But little did they know that such darkness could not be contained. Fear and Hunger. Same thing. In this place. This is the Grand Hall, of course. New gods reside here once our reign has seen its end. It's like you guys fucking take turns. It's kind of weird. Outside. You've seen the outside world, right? That's where you came, after all. Did you forget already? The world of humans is in chaos. They are waiting for their savior. Someone to lift them from misery and agony. Someone to stop endless wars. Someone to cleanse them from their diseases. Someone to destroy the old world order and the older gods that were the cause of the dark times. Abyssonia. Abyssonia, which is the origin of the Western civilization, many of us come from the land in which olive trees bloom and people bathe in sun. Okay. Francois. Francois, the dominating one, the new god of the current era, he rose to power in pursuits for more strength to unify the warring lands. Selfishly, he has taken over the Golden Temple and tries to rule Mahabur with his iron fist. He deserves to die. Interesting. Looks like they don't really have much respect for Francois. Now, one of the more interesting ones to me is the Forgotten One, because of the story of the Fellowship, he is the one everyone hates because he was deceived by the old gods. So I'm curious what the new gods think about him. If not, they all just hate him too. In the books and legend, he goes by the name Forgotten One or the Fifth One, but his birth name is Nozdramus. The Fifth One is Nozdramus. No wonder he's still there. So he's been... But then who's that guy that sold me the maps? I can't remember his name. Was he Francois? Or is he someone else? Because I don't think he told me his name, but the one who sold me the maps probably is someone important. But to think that Nozdramus was actually the Forgotten One, interesting. Now the one a lot of you are probably curious about is Girl. A pure being in which both strength of the new gods and a seed of the man from the prophecies come together. Wait, what? Strength of the new gods and a seed of the man from the prophecies. Wait. Man from the prophecies. Are they trying to say that Legard is meant to fuck the girl in order to create a new god from the combination? Never in the written history has there been similar situation. It is truly exciting, isn't it? We can expect great things from her. Well, she's definitely important, but the one of prophecy, the only one I know that's part of it is Legard and probably everyone involved, like the Outlander, the Dark Priest, and Kahara. Everyone involved are part of the prophecy in some way, but not as importantly as Legard. as to my knowledge at the very least. Like, Legarde is supposed to basically be Griffith from Berserk in his own way. But although I don't think Legarde is going to go through the same fate as Griffith does in Berserk. Alright, one with the developer himself. Miro. From faraway country near Oldgard. Ha-as-Haven? Ha-as-Haven. V to verify. Re to rise or ry to rise. Nen as the human being in the Far East. What? Strange. Nilvan. The new goddess, she believes in the endless potential of the mankind, that anything can be within reach if you try hard enough. She is aware of the end of an era and is desperately looking for a way to continue her reign beyond her destined lifetime. She believes Legarde holds the key to eternal existence. Valtael. The new god of enlightenment, Valtael is current master of the Grand Libraries. He is obsessed with creation of artificial life. He has wasted his cycle at the libraries on the subject without much triumph. He believes this to be the key to true godhood. He believes creation of life closes the gap between the new and the older gods. Well, they consider it a waste of time, but they're new gods, but that doesn't mean they have perfect knowledge of everything, because they are once people that just had their own life. What they know and what they learned is what they learned through their travel and through their lifetime, and whatever they share with amongst each other. Otherwise, you never know. The guy creating life and closing the gap could be just a brand new path they too as new gods are unaware about. Who knows? Tormented One. Also known as Ron Chambera, or Chambera, when he still walked among men as a mere mortal. Once a poet, he believes no great art can be achieved without pain and suffering. He now continues the same principles as a new god. They don't have anything else beyond that. I was wondering if they had good opinions or bad opinions about him. Chambera. Ron Chambera, when he still walked among as a mere mortal, once a poet. Okay. Same person, same answer. Pocket Cat. A servant of the trickster god, the moon. His motivations lie in the path laid out by older gods. Unfortunately, even we don't understand his mysterious ways. Besides being a kitty fiddler, of course. That much is very known. But likely he's involved with Grogroth in some fashion, but he's just not as direct as most others are. Where most worshippers apparently with Grogroth are, they feast on each other, they sacrifice each other, they learn blood magic, and all that kind of shit. But I wouldn't think he'd be with Almur or Sylvian or whatnot. I'd think Grogroth would make more sense. Ancient One. A soul that radiates the light of an older god. The soul has formed itself inside the body of a little girl. Wait. A soul that radiates the light of an older god. Is that the Endless Soul that I was given? The soul has formed itself inside the body. It's in the little girl, but the one god gave me the Endless Soul. Do they have to combine, maybe? The soul has formed. So an Ancient One's soul is inside the little girl, and that's why she has such potential. Because she is the combination, as what they said, of... She has the soul of an Ancient One, which radiates one of which of an older god, but her existence of one that is a newer god. So that's why they find it exciting, I guess, because she combines both old and new generations and could mark an interesting change. Interesting. The mother of the Ancient One is the Endless One. That's why Anna got the Endless One's soul. And the father is the man from the prophecies. Wait. The mother of the Ancient One. So, the Endless new god is the wife of Legarde, and the girl is the daughter of Legarde? And it's like a secret affair or secret child that they had, or it's just that, or is it known? Because I don't think Darce is aware of it. The results of such unholy union are unfamiliar to us. That's an interesting way of putting their opinion to it. Interesting, though. Trickster god. Trickster god, also known as the moon god, he is one of the last older gods to still observe mankind. He is a jealous kind. He would not share the godhood and the world order with humans and the new gods. He has many ploys to diminish our influence. Interesting. So moon god, moon, and the moon all relate to one of the old gods. I'm curious though, the questions don't involve the god of the depths, because I'm a little bit unfamiliar with the god of the depths. But outside of that, there's only one more question. And the rest, what I'm going to do is, since I'm playing the older version and the previous questions I asked weren't working, what I'm going to do is, since I have a save, I'm going to just copy-paste the save into my Steam folder, which is, the Steam version of this game is the newer one. I will get the answers to the questions, so then at the very least when this video is uploaded, I can put, like, semi-comprehensive list of questions and answers from the new gods. And it'll be semi-comprehensive because, you know, if there's like a 1.20 or 1.30 in the future and there's new enemies, new areas, then obviously mine won't be as comprehensive anymore. But at the very least, I want to get the ones that weren't answered, which are Body Snatcher, Lady of Moon, Old Guardian, and King, which I didn't get answers to. But other than that, the last one and the last question I can ask apparently is Bethel, which I don't know who that is. The new god of enlightenment that preceded Nazra at the Grand Libraries. He created the Grand Libraries to store the immense knowledge the world holds. He wished that the archives would one day surpass the knowledge and the wisdom of the older gods. Every new god of the enlightenment would, from then on, dedicate their cycle at the libraries to a certain subject they would decide themselves. Interesting. Okay, but with that done, I'm going to copy, paste, and get the new answers for the characters or the enemies of which I've mentioned. I'm going to get that information for you guys. Alright, so we're in the new version of the game, as you can tell in the top left, 1.1.1. A little bit different looking. Tiny bit. Body Snatcher. The wretched being was locked behind the sealed door when he was looting the dungeon from valuables. Locked behind the sealed door. He turned on the god of the depths. I'm gonna have to see if god of the depths is also part of it, because I don't know, god of the depths, that's how they spell it though. For salvation. Now, god of the depths would be the correct one, but it's too long. So, with that said and done, Lady of Moon. We do not know much about her. She is the servant of the moon god, the older one, the jokester god. The moon god has his motivations to meddle with the act in process, but we do not understand him. Old Guardian, the figurine created by the older gods to protect the golden temple of the true king. He has seen millennia go by, but still the fool waits for a false prophecy. Oh, is that the guy that's guarding the door that says if I'm worthy or not? And now they added a definition for him. And lastly, King. King. The older gods, before their departure, nominated a king to rule Mahaber and mankind. It's all fallacy. We as the new gods rule the Mahaber now. Okay, so I don't know who King is, but apparently they're just the false king that they just don't accept because they are the kings via being new gods of Mahaber and don't really accept their pickings. Sure, okay. But I'm just gonna type Neco for the hell of it. Neco. Yeah, we don't. Of course not. Okay. With the developer in there, I'm not obviously in there. I don't expect. But nonetheless, I just did that for fun anyways. But we did everything that I know is in there. There's no flower magic. Like, we have a book on... Or I had a book on flower magic from the Grand Library. We have, like, love magic, blood magic, but flower magic. What about flower magic? There's potential for so much to be added into the new gods questions, and let alone having so much already as is. There's a lot. But that is the semi-comprehensive list of what the new gods have to say. That's been an hour of recording. I will compile a shit ton of it, get it together, and I hope you enjoyed learning lore and things about the game, the enemies, the places, and the gods and characters. The biggest thing to me was just about the girl and her having been born with the soul of an older god, and that being her importance was basically told to us. And of course the potential that Lagarde is her father, and the father and the mother being the endless god of one of the new gods. Which so Lagarde had fucked a new god, and she coincidentally got the soul of an old god. So it's just, I guess, kind of interesting in that. So I wonder what will happen to her. A horrible fate or an interesting fate. Who knows? But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, please leave a like, comment, hit that subscribe button to become a subscriber, hit the bell notification down below for updates on my videos. Thank you for watching. Until the next time.